Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake's
Can't do that.
yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler. I think you should pause.
Welcome to the show, everybody. We're doing another special episode, similar to like what we did for Superman. We're just going to be reviewing Fantastic Four. Or this one actually has a "the" in it, so it's the Fantastic Four. First steps.
As the subtitle.
At this point, I feel like he could have just called it Fantastic Four, but
I'm okay with it because then you can like just say first steps when you're talking
Right.
about
And
all
you don't
the
have to say-
Fantastic Four
you don't have to
movies.
say Fantastic Four 2015.
Because there's like 7 of them.
And people are
believe it or
saying
not.
Superman 2025. I'm like, actually, there's never been a Superman movie just called Superman. Because the first one was Superman the movie.
Yes, it was.
So you could technically just say Superman or James Gunn Superman. I don't know. But regardless, we're talking about Fantastic Four First Steps. We just got back from seeing it. We saw it with we actually saw it with 4 people. It was kind of perfect.
Yeah. Wow, we were 4 like a family.
For the most part, we enjoyed it. We had one friend who didn't really like it, but I think majority of this movie, I heard somewhere that it was in the style of like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man,
A little bit.
and I 100%
Absolutely.
agree with that.
So many of the action sequences featuring Mr. Fantastic were definitely pulled from Doc Ock. Action sequences. You know what I mean? Like
and
the
that,
camera movement,
and you could
the
tell
debris.
that the guy. By the way, the guy that directed this was one of the writers on WandaVision. So you know he was more of like a guy like my age, so he grew up with that Spider-Man. So, and you can definitely see those inspirations from that first Spider-Man movie on this. And I'll tell you this right now off the rip before we get into spoilers.
Yeah, well, we're going to do our expectations too.
Sure. Okay. Well, going in, I had high expectations.
Okay. Well, finish what you were about to say.
Yeah, and what I was just going to say with just kind of like spoiler alert how I feel about it, I enjoyed this movie a lot because it felt very much like that Raimi style of we're going to play around with the
fun
silver age of comics.
Over everything.
Yeah.
Like, above all, we're having fun.
I think all of the characters work well together.
What was your expectations?
Extremely high.
Mine too.
And it exceeded it.
My thing was as soon as they announced that they were going to make a Fantastic Four movie, I realized finally they're going to do it right because I know Feige wants it done right. Like he took the time because they've had the rights for him for a good 6 years now.
Well, yeah, because the last Fox one was in 2015.
He said when they acquired it, he
yeah.
said, "Hey, by the way, don't be expecting Fantastic Four or X-Men anytime soon because we got a long way to go for that. I want to make sure it's done right."
Mm-hmm.
And I think he did it. He nailed.
Not Feige.
We're talking expectations.
Yeah.
Feige wanted to do it right, so I knew as soon as it was announced that I was like, "This is probably going to be good because he's going to get the right people to do it, to shepherd it." And it, as much as I didn't mind the first 2 in the 2000s. Obviously the Cloud of Galactus, but I knew I was like, hey, I've seen some shitty Fantastic Four
I'll be
movies.
honest with you, that first Fantastic Four movie is still extremely cheesy.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
But for a movie made 20 years ago, it's enjoyable.
It's not, no.
Second movie is...
You gotta take huge points away for Galactus, but other than that, Silver Surfer's pretty good.
I do like Lawrence Fishburne, but some of that stuff...
The effects are a little cheesy. Yeah.
And the dialogue, you're like, ugh. And like,
so
there's so much you can say for like, okay, this is cheesy, but at some point it's like, all right.
So I knew going into it, I'm like, I have high expectations because I feel like I am allowed to have them because of all the things that are,
Don't even fucking bother with Four Stick. That is terrible. Do not see that movie. I regret that I saw that.
Too.
I regret that I let someone talk me into seeing that in theaters.
Ew.
Yeah.
I finally saw it because why did I see it? Maybe it was on Disney. No. It was on something that I had, maybe Max, I don't know. But I finally saw it, and I was just like, "This is awful." Like I watched it all the way through.
Fucking Fantastic Four. That's what I don't remember much of that movie. All I remember is the clobbering time thing came from Ben's brother bullying him. I'm like, let's take something fun and make it dark and edgy.
Yeah, and also that's not from the books at all.
No.
Like
his brother, well, that's how they flipped it in the movie, remember? Because in the comics, he looks up to his brother, but in this movie, he's a bully.
And Dr. Doom in the movie is this young wonder kid instead of a,
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
So this movie, I think across the board,
I think we both had high expectations going in.
and I think it was a very fun, enjoyable summer movie. I think, and I truly thought this early on.
Yeah.
Like after the montage, and they kind of just when they just have the moment of the dinner, like right before that scene and that opening, I'm like,
which we've seen in the trailers a bunch
Right.
of times. Yep.
in my head, I'm thinking, not even that scene, just right before that where they have the cold open. All right, this isn't spoiling anything because you know that she's gonna have the baby. So they find out she's pregnant in the cold open, and then we get into the kind of the main thing. That and then the montage of the show. I sat there and I'm like, I think that this is a movie that I could point to. This is one of those movies already where I'm like, this is how you start a superhero franchise.
Yeah.
And I think it benefits from having, just like Superman did, having all these movies before it where it's like, okay, you generally know who this family is. If not, here's a quick montage. We're going to reference old comics, say all that stuff that they did, and like there's the space apes and all this shit. Like, it's incredible to see, like all these years later, have a movie like this that really, and I didn't say fantastic, but a movie like this that really does kind of remind you of what this studio can do. And you know what makes it work? Even though there's Galactus, he's going to eat the planet. It's a small story because it's about a married couple and their kid and their two crazy uncles. It's a sitcom, essentially.
It really is. And here's the thing, like, overall, like, I knew we were gonna get a Galactus, and Galactus, if you've listened to the show at all, you know that I just cream all over Galactus. I just do. Let's just be honest about it. He's my favorite.
We had a debate
comic
about
books
his
character.
cum landing on people.
It was weird. Who?
Galactus.
Oh yeah, we did.
The coming of Galactus.
The coming of Galactus. Ah!
Disappointed we didn't
I
see
hope you
that.
got an umbrella, and it's got, you know.
Cut that out.
No, keep it.
No, they deserve it. If you stuck with us at 215 episodes, you deserve it.
Yeah, you expect it.
Joe, I don't even have the board up.
You expect us to talk about jizz. Anyway,
At least once per app.
once per ep. So go ahead and just honestly,
Yeah,
if
hey,
you haven't seen it yet, stop right here and then come back. Okay.
Go see this movie. It's fantastic.
I want
You're gonna enjoy
I
it.
want to get right off the bat. Things I didn't like.
Starting right here at
Yes.
7:52 on this episode.
Yep.
It's spoilers.
Yep.
Go.
I wanted to get out of the way because there wasn't a lot, but there were some things that I didn't like, and I want to get that out of the way. And I know there was some stuff you didn't like. Let's get that out of the way because then we can talk about how great the movie is.
Yeah, because we're mostly going to
overall-
glaze this thing.
Overall, we're gonna be like, no, it's
We're going to
so
be
good.
like Krispy Kreme in
Krispy
the morning.
Kreme
We're going
in
to
the-
glaze it.
Glaze it donut.
This movie's the donut. All right.
I did not like the lack of creativity in when using Mr. Fantastic's powers. He really did one thing, and that was stretch his limbs,
Yeah, and he just kind of used it to make himself more mobile. Like, you didn't see him, like...
which he does in the books.
Yeah, and, you know, we've seen him do a lot of dynamic things in the comics. Like, for example...
They could have turned him into a giant cushion if, like, Johnny
Yeah.
fell at any point.
Or they could have even ripped off The Incredibles and had him turn himself into a parachute. Or, you
which
know...
he's done in the books.
Yeah. Or a raft or something, which, you know... Like, even the Stan Lee book, there's some creative things. Like, he, like, literally, like, just rolls himself up like a carpet to knock some things out of the way and do things. And, like, Marvel Rivals has examples of him using his powers, like, when he, like has this ability to make himself wide and reflect shots and stuff. So I agree. I think
he
there
never
could
made
have been
the
more of that
wall.
for sure, yeah.
And then I think it's not something I didn't like, but we reference this a lot moving into it. And I got to say, I was just thinking about it. I don't think Galactus changes size ever. I think he's that big the entire movie.
Yeah.
And that was something that kind of I just thought about, and I was like, I don't care either way.
Oh, he was fucking awesome, dude.
Galactus was so good.
Oh, my God.
I think that's the only... To be really honest, that's really the only thing I didn't like was just the lack of creativity there, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I
didn't
really-
I didn't like I didn't No,
Sorry.
It bears being brought up. I think there are some times where they had the baby involved, but maybe it must have been safety concerns or some sort of thing they had to deal with Disney and all that. I'm sure that's probably why. There were just sometimes there was a CGI baby in the movie, and I'm like, but we have a real baby there. Why did we?
I thought of something.
So I'm like, my guess is maybe some shots they just wanted to have CG. And because like at the end of the movie, when there's that big moment of him bringing her back, he's not holding Mr. Fantastic is not holding a baby.
Right.
Stop.
Sorry.
Stop. No, it bears being reported
I know.
because we talk about crunch and we talk about how much they emphasize the video effects and how much they have to put through with this shit.
Yep.
But we're gonna take time and resources to make a fake fucking baby. So for two, maybe two frames. 1 or 2 frames before it's put on the actual baby's put on her chest. Like, come on.
Why?
And again, it's probably some safety thing, I guess. I don't
Why
know.
no Alicia Masters? You referenced Puppet Master, which
what the
is
fuck?
which is her stepdad, and that's how they get involved with the Puppet Master is because Thing is into Alicia Masters.
Which I was confused as why they just didn't make the church lady Alicia and just have her be blind and be Alicia. But
I don't even know who Rachel Rosman is in the comics. I don't
either.
care.
I don't either.
But I do also. There were a couple times when she was talking to the Thing, and like she did not have her eyes in the right spot.
So that's what I'm thinking too.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
especially when they first met, it looked like she was like,
I don't know. I feel like she met Eyeline, but
yeah.
it could be us trying to think
We're
that she is Alicia before knowing. Yeah. Maybe it is Alicia. I don't know.
Nah, I don't know. But I liked how they yeah. So let's get into the stuff we liked.
So I had some other things I wanted to go over just to see if there's any.
Pick all you want.
No,
you
but
jerk.
there was some of those shots from.
I did too.
I think that overall the Thing looks great.
Yeah.
CG wise, there's some shots where it kind of looks a little wonky, but
When he was wearing clothes and hats, don't need him to wear hats.
could not help but laugh every time he wore clothes because I'm like,
right? It looks so dorky.
he has to have a special tailor. But anyway,
in the comics, honestly, he wore like a big fedora and then like a duster.
He wore that before, yeah,
and a duster, and he never wore like clothes, but he looked like some weird little kid, didn't he, with his baseball?
He did. It was amazing. I don't hate that.
Go ahead.
I do think that it was kind of cut weird a little bit. Where like we see Johnny fall from space for this dramatic thing, but then it's just we're in the next scene and he's just there. I feel like there was a missing scene of him like regaining his flame on and surviving that because it felt like a bigger deal than it was. Maybe
I didn't really notice that either. I think I just kind of look.
I mean, it was fun. No, it didn't.
No.
It's a nitpick if anything. I just think that there's some things where I'm like that seemed a little weirdly edited, but
Also, you probably have to do a whole effects shot.
yeah, right. And there's probably
Stunt
like,
people.
wait, we only have so much money and we can't have him flame on, in so many scenes. So yeah, it's probably that too.
So what do we want? Do we want to just get into this?
Overall, I think some of the things I loved. Overall, I think
Fucking Galactus.
other than the baby thing that I had an issue with, I think that the Thing looked great. Johnny looks great when he was flying. Like when he's having a conversation with the Silver Surfer in the air, like it actually looks really cool, and I like that a lot.
And they varied it too, because
yeah.
there were times when like he was rescuing a kid and like he couldn't obviously flame on with his hands, so he was flaming
just on fire
like
his back.
yeah. And then he'd flame on again, and then there was a moment when the power went out, and he was just kind of a light
candle, yeah,
a light candle.
or
a little bit.
when they all had the moment where they
That
all had to
effect
turn their
was
power
really
off,
good.
and he was just holding his hand as like a little torch while he was writing things down.
yeah.
Like, that was really cool.
I really liked the costumes, even though it
I love the costumes.
Here's the nice thing about the Fantastic Four costumes is that they are so. There's no real one way to do it
because they're perfectly generic.
The only thing you have to really include is a four in a circle somewhere, and it's blue and white generally, like powder blue, like in the movie, or dark blue, like it was in the original comics. Look, in the first issue of Fantastic Four, I don't think they wear a costume once. I don't believe they do. So. I'm fine with that's but that's what's nice about the Fantastic Four is you can do so much, and I really liked the kind of pseudo turtleneck, the utilitarian.
Well, and I love the idea that it's all the same material to be fire retardant, so Johnny could touch.
I didn't like that they didn't mention unstable molecules, which is how they say it in the comics. That's why Johnny Storm can flame on and still have clothes on when he gets.
Yeah. But I love the fact that they kind of touch that because if you notice, all of his clothes are kind of like the suit.
But if you're a comic book nerd
point I
like
wanna
me,
get- But the
you know
point
who's
I want to
Steve
get
Rogers.
at, Tyler, were the details in this movie were things like that, where there's a reason all of their costumes look like that because that's how Johnny could touch them and help them, and like just the thought put into it, and the fact that like again the cast is perfect.
Yeah.
I think every single one of them nails it, and especially at one point I told you The Thing is my favorite because
He's got the best
doing
lines.
this show that's my biggest other than seeing the movies, that's my biggest exposure to the Fantastic Four. I would never read the books, never really cared for it when I was growing up. So by doing this show and reading the older book issues and already having that lore from talking to you,
Yeah.
it was so fun to see these references get played out, and the fact that Mole Man is in it and he plays a bigger role than I expected, and it's funny.
Fantastic, dude. Butter me up.
Oh my gosh, the butter me up
No. The best part was I'd really like it if you guys wiped your feet. I'm just kidding. It's all dirt.
No, but this is what I'm saying when I say like it's a sitcom. Like the dialogue is very funny throughout this movie.
Dude, they had
So much chemistry.
By the way, thank you. I can't remember what fucking what fast food chain gave this scene away in one of their fucking commercials, but they gave away the Mole Man monster scene from like Fantastic Four #1.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know about that.
You do know the scene
No,
I'm talking about, right?
the spoiling of it. I didn't know about that.
Oh, no.
So whatever.
I happened to see it on a commercial, and honestly, it's not spoiling. It's just, oh, well, now I know that's in the movie, which is fine because I knew the Mole Man was in the movie. But it's almost a recreation of the first Fantastic Four cover, which is really neat. As we're talking about things I like, I'm thinking of things I don't like.
Oh, here we go.
Sorry.
John Malkovich getting cut.
I don't like John Malkovich being cut. I don't like that we didn't get any real Doctor Doom. I don't like that we have no idea how the fuck they're going to get to the MCU proper. Like,
yeah, it's kind of strange that
is
they didn't set
Doomsday
this up.
going to be that next step? Is it going to
Yeah.
be kind of a pseudo Fantastic 2?
Though I
know what I
heard
mean?
that Reed is going to lead the Avengers in these next two movies.
That's what you told me. Yeah.
So, and the way that Thunderbolts ends, my theory is that Doom is the one that brings the destruction, and they're leaving to go to 616, I guess. And then by doing that, that's when they run into the new Avengers, and then blah, 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 blah. I've also heard that Thor is a kind of a co-lead as well, so Thor's going to be coming into it. I truly have no fucking... This is the thing. You and I deserve to just eat some crow here, because you and I thought, hey, we got a perfect setup. This is how these two movies are going to play out.
Of course.
I have no fucking idea what they're going to do now.
I have no
because
fucking
the most
idea.
logical choice of this would be Galactus wins.
Here's what
And he
happens.
doesn't.
Here's what happens. You know what? Since we're talking about it, I'm going to give mine. Here's what happens. Avengers Doomsday is going to be led by RDJ because it is going to be a pseudo Doctor Doom origin movie, if
Like
you will.
like Infinity War was for Thanos.
A little bit,
Yeah.
right? And he is going to try and use Franklin for something. He's
power
going
cosmic.
he's going to end up becoming, by the end of Doomsday, he will have transformed the universe and reality
And
into Secret
create
Wars.
all the incursions to create Secret Wars.
He will have done that. So Secret Wars will basically be about the heroes trying to fight and beat Doom so that they can return reality to the way it's supposed to be. But how I mean, if you're telling me that when Doom gets the power cosmic and he rearranges reality, that's how 616 and 828 interact, then I'm not down with that. Cuz that seems really easy. Like, I feel like there should be interaction before that. Like, before Doom wins, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, but so far I haven't been really disappointed. Although, again, I've been talking about stuff I don't like. Let's talk about Galactus, because Galactus fucking ruled.
His design
So
was
good.
amazing. Because you know why?
Just a giant mech looking dude.
They followed the comics. Yeah. And he's not a cloud.
He wasn't really a specific color as
Dude.
much as he was just dark,
Tyler,
and his eyes were really light.
I think it's amazing how much they knew they had to fucking nail this based on the last time he appeared.
Yes.
And I gotta just say, every shot with him on the screen is is beautiful.
Is fucking perfect.
The first thing you see is just an outline of his eyes.
You kind of see the helmet, and then his eyes
but
pop
you've
open.
seen that in comics. Like they pull, and and it's like, yes, they like. I want to applaud movies when they get the assignment. And they take inspiration and pull from these pages and do shots like that, because that was imposing. That was scary. And then when he talks, like, it's such a presence. And I will destroy your Earth and make your eat your planet and watch your son make your son watch.
Yes, yeah.
Because the whole thing is he wants the power cosmic that Franklin Reed has.
Right, but here's the thing: is I liked how they. I think they could have done a better job explaining that Galactus is a force of the universe and not good or bad or evil or heroic. In other words, they kind of made it seem a little bit that he was a villain because he obviously wanted the child. But when you look at it, he wants to not eat planets all the time. And according to him, this kid can give him the energy he needs so that he can, or he can take over for him.
But you know what? He never expresses that to them.
No.
And that's your fault, Galactus.
No, he does say it to them in the very beginning when they first meet him.
Yeah, but
he says, like,
he doesn't understand humanity, so he doesn't understand context.
Either you're exactly right. But so they did have a good job of making him like a force of the universe in such that, like, the Fantastic Four are inconsequential. Like when he's walking towards him and then he notices right away that the baby's not there. Where's the baby? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I'm gonna go.
I love that. And then they look down, clever bugs.
Yeah,
like so good.
Yeah,
so good. Yeah. And because you know what I thought, and I love it when.
But he didn't care about them until they fought him. You know
love
what
it when the movie answers the questions right away. Because my thought was like, well, if he could already see the baby from that distance, why couldn't he just skate? And there it is. and the fact that the beautiful shots of it, and I wish. I don't know if they did it this way, but I would have loved to have seen the behind the scenes footage of the guy who plays Galactus in the suit in the CG and just knocking over these like model buildings, because he's just like shoulder checking these fucking skyscrapers.
The one thing I loved about Galactus's characterization is they nailed it in terms of he's very single-minded. He's not like humans with motivations that are, all over the place. He has one motivation. Hunger. I need to eat. Yeah. That's it. I don't care if I wreck your planet because I'm going to eat it anyway. And even if I wasn't, I don't care if I wreck it because it doesn't mean anything to me. You mean nothing to me.
You are food.
You're nothing. You're dust. You're dust mites. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do like the characterization of Galactus, for the most part, about 98% of it was fucking spot on. Spot on.
Yeah.
I do wish they would have given more. We were talking about Shalabal and the flashback to when she was human. Now, I think it's implied that Norrin Radd was her consort, if you will, because he has been in the past in the comics.
Right. In the comics, they've been lovers, and that's But
they don't mention.
They don't touch on it.
No. Which
is fine, because then it also opens the door for Norrin Radd to actually be the Silver Surfer in the 616. So you fucking losers in your mother's basement can shut the fuck up.
And also, I really liked how they finally got rid of a villain and left the door open for a return and didn't kill him. I gotta say, as much as I fucking love Black Panther, how the fuck are you gonna kill off
Killmonger?
Right? One of the best villains that has ever been in the MCU, bar none. And you kill him.
Yeah.
And not worse, you put it in the script that there's a chance to save him, and he doesn't take it. What? Why? You know what I mean? You're just like, you fucker.
Because,
I get it.
They're trying. I get it.
But the thing is with Secret Wars is they can bring back anybody because it's going to be all realities mashed up into one.
Crashing into each other.
Yes, because that's what's...
Birthing the reset.
Yeah. Where Doom is one, god. Which, again, what is one world under Doom? He already won in Secret Wars. I mean, how is this topping that? Okay? All right.
Married.
All right. Okay? I'm right? Okay? All right. Oh, and by the way, thank you for the hood at the end. To imply... You see that? That's supposed to be Dr. Doom. You see the mask?
I want to comment on how important, like the theme of how important family is in this. I think is a nice. Again, this movie feels small, and again, I'm saying that accepting. You spill some soda on yourself?
No, just dog hair.
Oh my!
Love him to
gosh.
death, but Jesus H. Christ.
Here we go. You coming to my home? You bet your mama I don't.
Yep. Well, he does like jump on me, like
It's called love, you bastard.
Yeah,
He just loves it.
find some ladies that love me like that.
Love me like it.
Jump on me.
It was jumping on.
Wouldn't that be weird if you're just walking in the mall and some girl's like, it just jumps on you?
I want to jump off characterizations because, yeah, Galactus was fun and enjoyable. I would have liked more with Silver Surfer, just a little bit more.
True, but I think they did well by her in the scenes that they had. They did give her that moment of like, here's all the, people crying and begging for her, and her.
Mhm.
Like, she did have her moments, but yeah, they could have. I think they missed a golden opportunity.
I loved how I think you mean a silver one.
Shit, bro,
I
you got
I
me
think,
there, man.
it's
you
funny.
fucking got me.
It's funny because I had a conversation with two friends that saw it with us that don't read the comics and just usually, or they dabble here and there, but they don't really read comics and they just mostly just watch.
They don't
shows and movies or whatever.
read comics and go "Gah," like we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's be honest, right?
Sure.
They
But anyway,
read
that's not my
anime
point.
and manga and go, and we don't. That's
just how it is.
Well, that's
People,
the big disconnect.
Different strokes for different folks.
It's a big, we
But-
all stroke it though.
Yeah, buddy.
We all masturbate.
Shut
Let's
the fuck
go.
up and let me get
Oh,
my
we all
point out before I
masturbate is all I'm
forget.
trying
I'm
to
lost
say.
in the cum. So my point was that they didn't read the comics where they're like, she just doesn't do much in this, and then I responded with, well, it's kind of in line with the
Actually,
Yeah, I pushed my glasses up. I said, actually, it's kind of in line with, like, because I was like, I agree that she could have done more and I wanted more.
fair.
But it's kind of in line with how it worked in the comics, where he just shows up, says, this is what's coming. Someone convinces him, and I like how they did it in this movie better than the comics, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, because it's different sensibilities for different things. But I was like, honestly, this is kind of in line with how she does in the comics. How the Silver Surfer shows up, does all that, and then tries to stop him at the end and helps stop him. That's it. And I knew what was coming, and I loved it so much. And that's what like when you know a movie works, when they set something up and you know it's going to happen, but it happens and it still delivers and makes you smile. Like when Johnny says, tell Franklin I love him, and he's like bolts at Galactus. I'm like, Silver Surfer's going to stop him. That's what I was thinking the whole time. And then that slow-mo shot of her bumping him out of the way, I was like, hell yes. And then her just like fucking taking him into the black hole. Just love that shit. And very much like the Sam Raimi shit. Like setting that shit up, know it's going to happen, and it still makes me happy.
Well, so one thing I do want to talk about is in the comic books, it is explicitly stated that when Galactus transforms Norrin Radd, he removes his capacity to be compassionate, his humanity, if you will. That is why he's able to lead Galactus to so many habitated planets, and not feel the guilt. In fact, most of his later stories, like in the 90s, deal with him being guilty over and over again and over and over again.
And Silver Surfer,
and over and
Silver Surfer Black
over
does
and over
that
again.
too. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's part of his character, right?
You
So
can only take so much.
well, my thing is like he always gets over it in every one of those stories, and then like a year later they do another story where he's like, "I'm so guilty," and it's like you just got over. Anyway,
Yeah.
So
Because continuity.
I with the runtime that you got, you don't have a lot of time to get and delve into that. So I think it was a good way to show that in the comics, Silver Surfer is so taken with humanity and how much beauty there is within them from the blind lady that he meets that he says, I can't let you eat this planet.
Yeah.
In the movie, Shalabal is just doesn't like that she's forced to realize that she has done this many times before, and she doesn't want to do it this last time.
Yeah, and I like
she wants to stop doing
and
it
I like,
altogether.
And I like how they did it in this, where
So it's not as much of a humanity; it's more just
Where
I don't want to kill any people anymore.
Where I have to address this, and then we can just kind of touch on it and move on, because I don't want to spend too much time on it, because I want to actually talk about things I like and enjoy about this movie. The criticism of having it not be Norrin Rad and being Shala Bal and doing this, and of course it's this bad faith fucking losers that are like, it's a woman Silver Surfer MCU.
She's been the Silver Surfer.
But no, what I thought was let's just wait, watch the fucking movie, because I'm sure there's some reasoning behind it, and we already know that this is not the universe that the MCU is set in. At some point, they're gonna get there.
Doesn't it say that in the first fucking frame?
It says Earth 828.
Yeah,
right at the gate.
Right away.
Which is a nice little nod to Jack
Kirby's birthday.
And it's cute. I was like, that's nice. That's sweet. Giving him some due.
Because it's been
he's very much a co-creator of Fantastic Four.
Right. Well, he's a co-creator of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah,
and,
really.
And much
Spider-Man,
of the comics that we love these days, honestly. The dynamicism, the dynamics of his drawing led to what we love in comics drawing today.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
the colors and the pop.
Whether somebody drawing X-Men right now has ever studied Kirby or not, the people that he did study did.
Sure. I know what you meant. But anyway,
But
anyway, but no, the fact that they use Shala Bal in this way because they're like, okay, well, we have to have. They really were just laying it out, being like, here's how we're going to reintroduce the Fantastic Four into the MCU. We're going to introduce them to the MCU and reintroduce them to audiences. We're going to touch on every cornerstone thing of that Silver Age, but we're going to do it with a little twist and do things a little differently. And how we're going to do that? It's not going to be what Stan Lee and Kirby did. We're going to go a little route, and we're going to have her appeal to humanity with a child. Because before Johnny confronts her, she's already cracking where she's like, it's just a baby.
Yes, yeah. She says to Galactus, like,
she's like, I failed you, because she couldn't get him, and she goes, but it's just a baby. And then, and I tell you what, I think the switch was when she reached in and touched the baby. Reached into the womb, and that she had that moment of like, that was her humanity a little bit peeking through, of like having that sensation of having a child.
Yeah, when you think about it, this is you could do worse to explain it as this is the original Fantastic Four, 48, 49, and 50 in a 2-hour form and slightly different with a couple of plot points exchanged and a couple of characters exchanged. Honestly, it really is.
Because they still go through space like Johnny does in that story. The Watcher's not in it, but they still travel. They slingshot their way back from space.
I am so fucking pissed that we didn't get the goddamn Ultimate Nullifier in this.
Ultimate Nullifier.
Ultimate Nullifier.
Jack, trust me. It's a little gun.
Before you cut that line out for me, listen to what I'm saying.
We thought the Gaboozle Blobbly Blah Blah thing was too stupid, so we're going to call it the Ultimate Nullifier. Fucking. Sometimes you gotta look back at that age and be like, man, they were just winging it.
I love your fucking Stan Lee. Do it again.
Hey, did I tell you there's a special secret device in the Marvel universe that nobody's heard of? It's called the Nullifier, the Ultimate Nullifier.
There's a bunch of them, but this one's the ultimate.
The Ultimate Nullifier, also known as my wife.
There's also the kind of nullifier, the somewhat nullifier.
That's not true. Stan Lee loved his wife. Very
dick.
sweet.
What a dick.
Well, that's why I'm saying this right now. I'm clarifying that Stan Lee loved his wife.
And then there's the pretty sweet nullifier, and then there's the okay nullifier, and then there's...
Because it's nullifying my fun. This stupid device.
You're the ultimate nullifier.
Excelsior. Oh, by the way, that's cute that they named their...
Save that for your... save that. Anybody listening...
Stop it. Stop it right now.
Stop it.
I do love that I thought that was a cute little nod to Stan, though, naming the ship the Excelsior. That was cute. There's so much to talk about. There's so much that I liked about this movie. I know that it has its shortcomings, but I think that
every movie does.
I think we're just in a weird place because I feel like we have to have. The problem is when you make something like this, when you go something like comic books, that's always been silly and fun and niche, and when you blow it up to a grander stage into a wider audience.
Yeah.
The thing that frustrates me, I feel like, is. There are going to be, I'm sure, and we had complaints about this, where like we didn't spend enough time with them doing this or doing this, and then, this thing, and I'm like, but you can't. We've been doing this for 20 plus years. So either you can get upset and be like, well, I don't need to see the parents get shot in the alley for Batman again. Either we move past that and it doesn't exist and that's fine and we just accept that's where we're at. Because I saw the same criticisms for Superman and I'm like, look, it laid out there's not enough world building or there's an issue with world building. I'm like, okay, this movie does a great job of setting its world because it just says, okay, we're in an alternate universe. Right away, it says Earth 828. We're in an alternate universe. They've been doing it for 4+ years. Here's them fighting all these characters. Here's all this stuff. Now, here's where we're at now. And I get frustrated because it's like, well, I wanted a little bit more of that, a little bit more of those fights or something like that. I'm like, but look, we only have so much time. We don't have 4 hours. You know what I mean?
Also, I got to tell you something.
So that's where my frustration comes from.
If you're one of those people who like goes to a movie of like a superhero movie and you're like, well, I haven't seen the first ones. I don't know what's really going on. Watch the fucking movie that you're going to see, and literally they pretty much explain to you what's going on. And if you can't figure that out, it's not the movie maker's fault. It's your fault. You're stupid. No, you can't comprehend what's going on.
I think the problem is
Sorry.
No, I don't necessarily think it's I just don't like. Here's my response. Well, what I feel like with that is
you're not stupid, but you're.
I just feel
take a second, think about it.
I kind of had this snapping in my brain with the Superman stuff. When we were reviewing that, I truly feel like it because I look at some of the reviews, I read some of the reviews, I talk to have different opinions on these movies, and it's just like I think there are times to have legitimate criticisms. Like you could probably view it as nitpicky when I talk about the baby thing, but I feel like that's a legitimate criticism. So
some of the stuff I think
it's all subjective, and we kind of get in this weird thing. But at some point, I'm just like, why are we having logical fights about a story about 4 people with superpowers? One can stretch, one is a rock, one is a flame, one is invisible, and there's this giant planet-eating space god alien. Why the fuck are we talking about logistics, about how the black holes work and the science of that? I'm like, I'm sorry, that goes out the window when a crucial plot point of this movie is let's teleport this planet over there. Yeah. Let's stop working ourselves into this tizzy of it. It's
look, to me, every time I go into one of these movies where the criticism is the world building, I just have to say there may be just some sort of block that you can't get past. Because I thought, as a comic book fan, the world building was done really well.
Yeah.
As somebody objectively viewing it, okay, say I know nothing about this.
Sure.
How would I receive this? I was fine in both situations. I felt like they did it in such a way that they're like, hey, you can do that. Really good movies can drop you in the middle of the action and not build up to it, and boom, there you are. And you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it right away.
Nobody complains about the bank heist of The Dark Knight.
Fucking thank you.
Nobody complains about the Joker about that at all.
Fucking thank you. Also, nobody notices that one of the school buses is covered in dust. And just like debris.
Came out of a bank?
Yeah, what the fuck? Why did that one guy stop and let him out? Like, hey, whoa, I would have run into him. Like, I wasn't there's no street there.
That's my point. You could do that for any movie.
Exactly.
Any movie.
Exactly. I felt like, personally, that, I don't know, maybe it's observational, whatever you want to say, but I feel like it's more than anything when people kind of have an issue with that there's a little bit of like, hey, like I just don't want to. And that's okay. That's okay. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's the filmmaker's fault as much as it is you not wanting to join in the fun or be part of, you know what I mean? Like,
and honestly,
they're throwing you into the pool and you're like, I don't want to go into the pool. And it's like, okay, but you know,
and because again,
we're at the pool.
And I'm glad that I'm glad that we can kind of, because I don't want to compare.
Because I don't have any problem if somebody criticizes the movie.
I don't want to compare these two movies. I don't want to compare Superman and First Steps.
I'm just saying they both had worlds.
I'm just trying to move on to my point to
mine
keep
sucks.
the conversation going on this, because you can. I think that there are people like we spoke. There are people that have talked about Superman and they didn't like that we didn't get more backstory on that and more backstory in this movie. I'm sure people talk about it, but it's like, again. Yeah, if you can just draw, because this movie especially has no, like, Fantastic Four, like First Steps has no real ties to the MCU at all, not yet. It did in Thunderbolts, but nothing in this movie itself, other than Doctor Doom shows up. and it's just him in a cloak. That's about it.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not even technically. We don't know that he's in the MCU
and that's why
proper.
I'm saying, like, I feel like this is one of the few examples in the MCU where you could take this movie, plop someone down in front of it, and get the thing there.
Yes.
But my thing is, okay, here's what we need to do. Make up your mind. Because I feel like sometimes we run into the same thing. We're like, I don't want to do homework and I don't want to do this. I'm like, okay, fine. Then don't see this movie because then you don't like. And it goes both ways. Marvel shouldn't make a product like that because fuck off. You shouldn't have to have homework to go see a movie, right? And I don't. And I think for the most part, you don't need to watch the Disney Plus shows at all. I've hardly watched any of them. I watched Skip. My point is.
I watched
Like
Skip
either you just
Skip to
accept
Manu.
that you have that this movie's gonna just think you have this knowledge already and put you in it, or you're gonna have to do the homework. And what I mean by that is go to a comic book friend and ask them.
Or look up fucking Wikipedia.
And I'm
dude.
sorry if you cannot figure out.
Take 5 minutes and read the fucking fictional character
In the-
biography of the fucking
year,
character.
In the year of our Lord 2025, you have no excuse to not know Superman's origin or Batman's origin or any character's origin because you have a computer in your pocket.
Let me one up you on that whole rant and say this. I agree with everything you said.
You can't,
And I want to add to it by saying this. If you're telling me if you're using a word like homework to describe going to see a movie or watch a TV
Then don't
show,
go.
you already told me enough that you don't care for it. So then go watch whatever it is that you want
to
to
come
watch.
on Disney Plus and just wait for it to do that.
If you just
want
want to,
really
if you
watch
just want it because all your friends talk about it and you want to have something to talk about with your friends, okay, fine. Then stop complaining about it, or get new friends. I mean, I don't have a problem as long as somebody's not coming up to me, and nobody has.
And
As long as nobody's coming up to me, nobody has, by the way, and going like, "Hey, that movie sucked. What you're dumb for liking it." Nobody has. But I also am. Sometimes you're reading stuff, or you read an article, or you hear somebody and like, I didn't, and you're like, you hear that homework phrase, and you're like, okay, I know enough that you don't love it like I do.
Yeah.
I don't need to do homework because it's part of my brain.
I want to be clear. I'm not saying you
I'm
can't.
a nerd.
I'm not saying you can't dislike this movie or be negative about this movie.
Yes.
No. And I think that I don't want this to come off negative, but I'm just saying like this is the struggle that they're going to have because you're going to try and please everybody to make the
And you can't.
broadest thing, and you can't because on one hand you're like, okay, we don't want to waste time on origin stuff. We're going to kind of get to the shit.
Yes.
But there's other people like, well, I'm not really familiar with the Fantastic Four. I didn't really watch those other movies. Blah 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 blah. And even still, I think this movie does, like you and I said
Pretty good
a
job.
good job to be like, they went into space, some crazy stuff happened, it changed their DNA, it gave them superpowers.
And now here they are at dinner.
If you can,
really.
if you can accept, and that's all you need to accept for that is like, okay, they're superpowered, and then they fight these people, and they've been doing this for 4 years.
And let me say one more thing in defense of people who might not like this movie. You actually have lived your life doing fun, different stuff. I spent most of it in a basement reading comic books. Okay, so like, you know what I mean? Like
You have different hobbies.
I want to make that clear really quick that I know it sounds like I'm being like I'm bitter because I know all this stuff about comics. I have like extensive knowledge of Marvel and DC continuity. You know what? That's fine. But you know what? I don't have like a lot of friends either.
I don't have a social life.
I don't have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
no, and I'm not
don't feel
trying
bad if
right.
you're not like.
And I don't want to be gatekeepy because I want
No.
I want people to read comics and get excited about this stuff too.
Ask me as many questions
Sure.
because I love talking about that shit. Love it.
But it is
actually-
it is the struggle because I feel like I think that might be some criticisms, but I think this movie does a great job of doing all of that and then really, really making you believe that these people are a family and they love and care each other.
It's a
it is the
straightforward-
first family.
Straightforward story. Pretty much. They do reference like multiple dimensions or other dimensions in like the beginning when he's talking about this, whatever. But they don't really get into that. And again,
You think they're going to do the Council of Reeds?
It's the same thing. Here's one thing I missed.
What?
When they first do the ABC thing at the very beginning, they
Yeah.
have the fucking Roman numeral for what year it is. And I didn't see what it was because I'll bet you that's a big clue.
I'm sure it's like the way they have it sound is like this futuristic. retro futuristic 1960s. I feel like, or
Yeah.
maybe a little bit later than that. I don't know because the technology is confusing. Oh my God, that's another thing. Well, I want to more touch on Vanessa Kirby and Pedro Pascal are great together. I think you buy their marriage, you buy their relationship. There's a lot of chemistry there. I think Joseph Quinn and Eben, I can't pronounce his
Moss
last.
Backrock.
Yeah, those two are great together.
Yeah, he's
Fun.
a
So
great
he's
guy.
so funny, dude. He is
I
great.
loved the fucking beard.
Yes, I love the rock beard. I thought I'd hate it, but I was like, I kind of dig this. Mostly because I'm like, ooh, I could be the thing now.
Well, he's had it in the comic.
I could just spray my beards like an orange rock color, and
And I do think
Clobber.
we touched about on it a little earlier, but I want to make it clear if you haven't seen this or whatever, well, you shouldn't be
we're
listening
way
to
into
us.
spoilers, man. We're 45 minutes in.
But Galactus isn't really one color. I mean, he's not really colored as much as he's just kind of a dark gray,
yeah,
except for his eyes. Really, I mean, there is shades of color when he comes to Earth, but
Yeah.
up until that moment, he's pretty like his face is just kind of a gray. And I do like that they showed sometimes. Like when he sprayed him across the eyes with his fire and he was like, "Gah!" I was like, "Oh, that's such a
Yeah.
Galactus like."
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I thought it
geeked
was
the
cool
Fuck out,
when they
dude.
showed his eyes and the irises would always glow purple. And then it would-
We talked about the iris. You and I brought up the Galactus's irises last week and how they're kind of an incomplete square,
yeah.
a little bit. And when they showed him like a little farther away, it did look like that, and then his eyes would flash to the white because he was like in attack mode.
yeah.
Which I loved that whole thing where it's like, okay, I'm.
Oh, I
looking.
love that you see
Now
his
I'm
eyes.
gonna
I
die-
love that
now
you
I'm
saw
gonna
his
get-
eyes first, and then you saw the outline of his helmet in the space. Like that was so cool. Yeah, but just all around, like I said, like I really enjoyed whenever they all four were on screen as a team.
Yeah.
I bought them as a team. I bought them as a family.
Yep.
I thought this sequence when they go to talk to Galactus and they're trying to lead Silver Surfer into a black hole, and then they don't have enough to get back home, so they got to like slingshot around the star to get back to Earth. And Galactus induced labor with his eyes, with his eye beams. He's like, "Well, you're gonna have the baby now."
Well, she was pretty far.
I mean, you're like 9. You're pretty close.
You're like 8.5 months
Like
pregnant.
it's
You're not gonna need an incubator.
And so, but that sequence we talked about it in the parking lot on the way to the car. I said that was one of the moments that I teared up because I love, first of all, how it was done, like the chase sequence beforehand with Silver Surfer, and then the whole sequence of her giving birth in zero gravity, and like how he had to use his stretching abilities to hold himself up to hold her down
Right.
because she needed gravity to birth.
Right, which is
Crazy. And then, yeah, the moment of having the baby, I said that I teared up, and you're like, oh, really? And I go, yeah, because the music, how it's shot, how it looks.
the music is great.
Again, how Pedro looks, how Vanessa look, you buy that they're in love, you buy that this is their baby, and then in that moment, I had thoughts of the birth of my son, and it was just like a beautiful.
Oh, here we go again.
No, it was just a beautiful emotional moment, and
I'm
yeah,
Jake. Did you know I'm a dad?
and I had that, which honestly,
I'm just kidding.
I think I probably enjoyed this more than some of my friends, is because of having a kid and having and I'm not saying you need to have a kid to enjoy this, but I'm just saying that like it'll strike a different chord for parents, I feel like. And that moment especially, and then later in the movie where she has him and she's like, he's not like us, he's greater. I was just like, oh my God.
I like what
And
she
'cause if
said.
you're a
Like,
parent, you
I like
believe
what
that.
she said. Like, I won't sacrifice my child for this world, but I won't sacrifice this world for my child.
Yeah.
That was cool because that was weird. Like, to be honest, like when they came back, if they were like, "What was the question?" I would have been like, "Oh, I can't remember." Do you guys remember? No, I don't remember what he
'cause
asked
you're like,
for.
what about all of our families?
Yeah,
This
you
is your
fucking idiots.
family."
Yeah. Oh, by the way, it's this one baby against all of you. To be really honest, let's look at the real world. That fucking building is gone, and everybody in it is
I want to
dead.
be completely honest with you. The most unrealistic thing about the movie was everybody cooperating.
Oh
to
my God,
build the-
Everybody turning off their lights around the world at 8 p.m. Bullshit.
I saw that
You
nobody.
know.
You lived during COVID. You knew that people would not
ain't
comply
shit
to that.
fucking happening.
Reed
Goddamn.
Richards, go fuck yourself. That's some dude in Jersey. Like, fuck you, Reed
Right.
Richards.
You know
I ain't
what?
turning my lights
Hey,
off.
who is gonna run this arcade while the fucking lights are out? I'm gonna do it, Reed
The lights
Richards.
stay on.
The lights stay on. The lights stay on. Right. Some jackass like,
Impeding doom. We're trying to stop the space alien. No, fuck you, Reed Richards. I ain't turning my lights off. Fuck you.
listen, people need to cash their checks. I'm keeping my check cashing place open all night long, 24/7, like it says on the sign, Richards.
until I see his big purple
Yep,
eyes,
Yep,
I'm keeping his
I'm
place open.
cashing checks.
Unless you got some nullifier in there, some ultimate
Is
nullifier.
it, you just have the OK nullifier? Well, that ain't gonna cut it, Richards. You need the ultimate nullifier.
Not the maybe nullifier. Not the sometime multiplier. Fuck, I lost the bit.
Oh, you're okay.
Help, fell out of my pocket.
Spilled it.
Still have the idea of you guys doing a podcast. You
I'm
think we're
sorry.
gonna stop recording?
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm glad you showed that to me before I told him we could stop him. That's a mostly good nullifier. We need the ultimate model.
Good.
We need the ultimate model.
Can I get a maybe nullifier? For if somebody tries to ask me to do things, I'm like, maybe.
You're almost there. That's a pretty fucking dope nullifier, but it is not the ultimate nullifier.
Alex sounds like he's in Boston.
Hey, listen. Hey, Boston's
Hey, we got lights too.
Boston's gonna get eaten by Galactus
You know who doesn't
too.
have lights? Utah.
Listen, the Red Sox are playing. I'm keeping the lights on in Fenway, Richards.
All right.
Screw you and your damn curfew.
All I
All
want.
baseball games are now
all right,
day games.
So moving,
Nope.
So moving forward, what
There
do we?
is no moving forward.
What do we think this means? I don't know how they're going to come into Doomsday.
I think Doomsday is going to be a pseudo
Doctor Doom origin, and he's
right.
going to shoot them into the MCU.
No,
or something.
he's going to gain control of Franklin somehow, and use his powers and gain his powers somehow, and recreate reality, rearrange reality. By the end of Doomsday, reality will have been rearranged into
and then we get Secret
whatever
Wars
the Secret Wars,
and-
Battle World,
yeah.
whatever you want to call it.
Well, in the meantime,
And then that whole movie will be about them trying to get reality back to reality.
I really enjoyed
I'm
this.
still excited though.
Yeah, you and I. Yeah, I was very happy with this.
How long
movie.
have we been talking about it?
About an hour. I love the references to Fing Fang Foom, Dragon Man, the Wizard,
Red Ghost, Wizard,
Space
Puppet
Apes.
Master,
Yeah.
Red Ghost,
Red Ghost and the
Diablo,
Space
Mad Thinker. They fucking reference the goddamn Mad Thinker, dude. That is dope as fuck. I don't know how many times you heard me while we were watching the movie go, yeah, awesome.
You did. You're like,
Cool.
Yeah, I could hear
I
you
was being such a
next
dork.
to me. You're like, yeah. I like to think
Are you masturbating? It sounded kind of like it.
I'm gonna shoot a galactic-sized load.
Galactic-sized load all over this world.
No, finish it.
No.
No. Excelsior.
Excelsior. Oh, is that the OK nullifier? I need the ultimate
Jack.
nullifier.
I got an idea for a nullifier, but it's got to be ultimate.
Can you draw me what looks
Can you
vaguely
imagine?
like a cigarette
Time
lighter?
out. For real though, I know this bit's dead, and
No,
the
it's
horse is
never
dead.
gonna
We shot it
fucking
long enough.
die.
But can we?
I want to do. Yeah.
I want to touch on the idea of like if Galactus in the original, comic, like they show up and they're like, "Oh, it's the ultimate nullifier." But Galactus himself, that's no ultimate nullifier. That's the okay nullifier.
Haha.
And they just eat
No. Even better. You know what? Cross Galactus with a Crocodile reference, or a Crocodile Dundee reference.
That's not
That's
a
not
nullifier.
an ultimate nullifier. That's an ultimate nullifier. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.